We were uncertain. We were sceptical about whether we could make predictions. People were used to the idea of free movement, and what we were trying to address was, given free movement, should we allow these people to work legally, pay national insurance, pay tax, or should they work in the sub-economy?
Britain had a choice: open up its labour market to everyone or temporarily restrict the numbers. The job of estimating how many might come to live and work in the UK fell to migration expert Professor Dustmann.
We started that report early in 2003, where we tried to predict a number of people who would migrate after 2004.
We're talking about all the Eastern European countries joining the EU. No one has any idea what this is going to be.
So we try to do the best on the evidence we have. Our number was about 13,000 would come to the UK every year. The report, however, was based on a very specific scenario, that Germany opens up its labour market to Eastern European migrants as well.
Based on Dustmann's estimates, the British government did a deal with the EU. Britain decided to allow everyone in, but then Germany changed its mind.
Finally, on the 1st of May, it was the UK, Sweden and Ireland among the existing European countries which actually opened their labour market to those new accession countries, and not Germany. So at that point, the scenario we had modelled was of course not the scenario anymore.
Germany had opted to temporarily restrict its borders to migrants, so they looked to Britain instead. 13,000 a year didn't come here. It was closer to 40,000. Critics asked how the government could so badly miscalculate the numbers.
2003 Dustmann report is predicated on one thing: is Germany opening up in the same way as we're going to open up. And Germany doesn't. It closes down. It says it was going to close down for 7 years.
Look, let me be very straight. I've defended the decision, but I was culpable on two fronts. One, I didn't really clock the significance of the decision that Germany was taking, even though I knew about it. And secondly, I was quite prepared, as politicians so often are, to use the cover of the statistician's analysis, guess if you want, to provide us with a comfort zone while we were implementing the early part of the registration. We were quite happy to ride with the public understanding that this wasn't going to be a major influx, and of course it was.
At least 850,000 people, around 3% of the UK working age population, migrated from Eastern Europe to the UK between 2004 and 2011.
You were hung out to dry, basically, by politicians. They came and said, you've got this completely wrong, you've wildly underestimated the figures, a massive, catastrophic miscalculation by you.
Nobody read the report, I think. Not many people read the report.
That's a sliding doors moment, David, isn't it? One way or another.
Well,
and you said in a candid way, which is very rare for a politician, we got it wrong.
Well, we got that part of it wrong, but there's no question looking back that it was a very fine line as to whether we were reducing our future productivity levels whilst actually creating and holding on to very high employment. These are very fine decisions, and sometimes you get them wrong.